this is for Year 12 further maths. We're going to look at dominance matrices, which is the last part of exercise 11F. Okay, so dominant just when all the arrows in the communication diagram are only one way. Okay, so dominance in situations involve competitions where there are winners and losers, food chains, and animals eat other animals, and those that are eaten. Okay, so if I have an arrow A to B in a dominance diagram, then that's a one-step dominance, i.e. A dominates B. This is described as direct dominance. Okay, so tiger might eat rabbit. Okay, so that's example of one-step dominance. Indirect dominance means that one is dominant over the other, and the other thing is dominant over another thing. Okay, so A is dominant over C, and C is dominant over B. So indirectly, A is dominant over B in two steps. Okay, so that's when you have indirect dominance. Okay, so tiger might eat rabbit, which might eat I don't know, a insect. Okay, so that means that the tiger is dominant over the insects in two steps. Now, dominance matrices are like communication matrices. They're binary, where direct dominance is indicated by 1 and the other element is a 0. Okay, so let's look at an example from a past exam. Okay, so we've got a diagram of a relationship between 4 species: insects, birds, lizards, and frogs. This is the predator, and this is the prey. We want to see whether the predator can eat the prey. Okay. Can insects eat insects? No. That makes sense. Can insects eat birds? No. Can insects eat lizards? No. Can insects eat frogs? No. Can birds eat insects? Yes. Okay. Can birds eat frogs? Birds can eat frogs. So put a 1 there. Can lizards eat frogs? Yes. Can frogs eat insects? Yes. Can frogs eat birds? No. Can frogs eat lizards? No. Can frogs eat frogs? No. Okay, so we filled in the table, the dominance table. So this is for direct dominance. Now, we want for 4 creatures, how many can each creature eat? Okay, so we just sum the predator columns. Okay, so here we've got 0. When we add them together, we've got 3 here, we've got 2 here, we've got 1 here. So we can see that the birds are the most dominant. Okay, the birds can eat 3 things. Okay, so of the 4, how many can each eat? So insects 0, birds 3, lizards 2, frogs 1. So we can see the birds are the most dominant directly. Okay, so directly, birds are most dominant. What does Z2 give us? It gives us the two-step dominance. Two-step dominance. Two-step dominance. Okay, so it gives us the two-step dominance of creatures eating each other. Okay, so I'll give you an example what two-step dominance means. It means like if a tiger eats a rabbit and the rabbit can eat insects, then it's dominant over the insects in 2 steps. Okay, indirectly. Without calculating, what do you expect Z3 to be? Okay, so 3-step dominance. Now, if you look at the diagram, look at a diagram, 3-step dominance means it has to be dominant through 2 things. Okay, so birds are 3-step dominance because it's dominant over lizards, which are dominant over frogs, which are dominant over insects. So this is a 3-step path, 3-step dominance. So birds are 3-step dominant over insects. It's also directly dominant over insects. Okay, it's also 2-step dominance over insects because it can eat the frog, which it can eat the insect. Okay, so you got to understand what Z means as a single matrix, what Z squared means, and what Z cubed means. So Z squared means two-way dominance, Z3 means three-way dominance. Okay, without calculating what you expect Z3 to be, okay, there's only one path in which you get three-way dominance, and it's to going from birds to insects. So I'm expecting all the values to be 0 except birds. Okay, let's rewrite this. IBLF. Okay, IBLF. IBLF. For Z3, I'm expecting birds to be three-step dominance of insects, but the rest would be zeros because I can't get a three-way path for any of the other combinations. Okay. Calculate Z plus Z2. What does this tell us? Okay, so I'm going to use a calculator. I've already entered the matrix in, so this is my matrix. I want to calculate Z plus Z squared, so I'm going to copy this twice. Okay, Z plus Z squared. So this is a shortcut you can use, but make sure you select the right thing to copy. Z plus Z squared. Z plus Z squared. Okay, what does this tell us? It tells us the total dominance of each thing. Okay, so let's... Okay, I'm going to copy this. I'll just copy it over here. Or I'll just copy what it says. So 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And we've got 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. And then we've got 0, 2, 1, 0. 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 0. So what this tells us is whether direct or by two steps, what the total is, total dominance in either direct or two steps. So if I add the columns together, I'll just in a different color. If I add the columns together, I get 0 here, I get 6 here, 3 here, 1 there. So again, this was the bird column. Birds, lizards, frogs, insects. I can see that if the steps are maximum of 2 steps, then birds are still dominant because we get a value of 6. And insects are still 0, so it's still not doing anything. We can calculate Z plus Z2 plus Z3. What's the order of dominance of the 4 creatures? So I'm going to add another one, Z cubed. So we can add Z cubed. So I'm going to add... So you can use the previous answer. You don't need to re-type the answer. I'm going to add Z cubed to Z squared plus Z. Okay. So, and we get... I'm just going to copy this. I think I can copy this. Yep. Copy this. We can see that... What is the order of dominance of the 4 creatures? So 0, 7, 3, 1. So birds, 7. Then we goes to lizards, 3. Frogs, 1. Insects, 0. So in terms of order of dominance, birds are the top dog in this case. So that's basically how you interpret dominance matrices, and this applies to, you know, sporting events as well. Okay, where if you have a, you know, a Z squared value and you get a value of 1 for your one of the combination, it means that, you know, Lisa might have beaten Sarah, and Sarah may have beaten Nicole. So Lisa is dominant over Nicole in 2 steps. Okay, hopefully